Just sit back and get ready to have the most fun you ever had with an electronic device.
All right, everybody, welcome out to the Get On With It Sports Show. It is Wednesday, October the 26th, 2022. Jersey Johnny coming at you. With me, as always, is none other than Mr. RadioPete and Mr. Harry Lug Nutz. Say hello, gentlemen.
Hello. Hello.
What up?
How is you today?
Fantastic.
Lovely. Last show
Beautiful.
of October.
Rocktober is almost over.
October's almost over. We will be doing next week's show in the wonderful month of Movember.
And we're off with the band.
We have to shave our beards. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, cool. So how are you two?
What is Movember? I don't get it.
I don't know. It's something I heard that somewhere. I was like, no, it's Movember or no shave. No.
Is Mo from the Three Stooges finally getting his
That's Curly.
Movember. We all cut our hair like Mo from
Hey Mo
From the Simpsons.
From the
Three Stooges.
Three Stooges.
The Three Simpsons. There you go.
Yeah.
With the
Mo, Larry, Curly.
I have to say,
I always preferred Shemp. You know, I really did.
You're one of those guys, huh? Goddamn shit.
I mean, Curly's obviously the best.
Curly's obviously the royalty there. So
I have to say
Mo's brother and Shemp's brother. They were all Mo, Curly, and Shemp were all brothers.
No, they weren't.
Yeah, they were.
Not really.
Really?
Yeah, sure.
No, they weren't.
Check it out. Go online. Look, you find out.
I don't believe it. I've been listening to a lot of Joe Rogan. I don't believe anything I read online. Unless it's from Joe Rogan or Jordan Peterson.
Of course.
Let's get them to weigh in.
There you go. So anyway, had this pop up. I thought it was pretty interesting. I wanted you to look at each panel individually. Don't jump to the end. All right. Here we go.
Quiz.
Now, like the draw play. Now here's an Atlanta defender coming in to tackle Brady, but he stops. He gives him a hug. He picks him up. He puts him in bed. He feeds him a bottle, reads him a bedtime story, tucks him in, kisses him goodnight, and still gets a flag thrown for.
Why are they both playing with their no pads on and no helmet?
I don't know.
That's the new NFL. Maybe it's the All-Star game.
Maybe it is the All-Star game. There you go. That's what.
I mean the Pro Bowl.
Right. Yeah. Same thing.
Right.
It's amazing how much people just love ripping on Tom Brady.
So they're saying Tom Brady's a baby?
No, they're not saying Tom Brady's a baby.
No, they're making a comment on the roughing the passer call.
It's a roughing the passer. In other words,
making a joke.
I know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But why not just why? It's not just Tom Brady. It's other.
No.
Well, they use that
QBs
one. They use that one.
Had the
because it makes because he can hashtag his cartoon Tom Brady baby, and
TomBradyBaby.com.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady baby. It's a new line of athletic wear for babies that he's
Tom Brady baby.
Tom Brady baby.
It's everything has TB12 all over it.
That's right.
Yeah, it's like there's a cologne. There's a
cologne for babies.
A cologne for babies. A line of onesies.
Yeah,
of course. There you go. Gotta love it. All right. This headline. This was breaking news too. I thought this was interesting. Actually, I just thought it was cute, but I'll just put it up there. Here you go. Breaking news. Sting has been kidnapped. The police have no lead. All right.
Wow, we're really. This is supposed to be the fun show. It's obviously not the funny show.
It's the dad show.
It's the dad joke show.
Yeah, let's avoid anything else like that.
By the way, can I just make one request here of at least the United States?
Why not?
Yeah, I mean, all of it is listening.
A few days from now is my favorite holiday of the year, Halloween.
Right.
You can't Monday. No, I think Halloween should just be moved
to the
to the
29th.
last Friday of October.
Saturday.
Or Saturday. Yeah, maybe Saturday's even better. Just not Monday.
No.
That's just wrong. Like, you can't have Halloween on a Monday. I mean, it's already so watered down, right? As far as...
Is it?
Well, I mean, like, you can't. They sent out a memo, I think, last week.
Who's they?
The high school.
Yeah.
Our-
I'm not
They.
I'm not part of your high school memos.
No, well, my son is in the school, so he gets a memo about costumes and like you can't have anything,
Right.
No weapons or like nothing too scary. I mean, like what
Slightly's
is
okay.
what is the point? It was funny. He was telling me the other day. I guess they had some sort of they had like a little gathering about dress code.
Mm-hmm.
Like the vice principal or whatever was talking to them. Just remember what the rules about the dress code are. Like no, t-shirts, with violence or drugs or alcohol. He's sitting there like in a Guinness t-shirt, getting, the talk
The
about what
principal
clothes.
is?
Principal was in a Guinness
My
t-shirt?
son. My son is in a
right.
Guinness t-shirt, and the vice principal is going, "No shirts about drugs or alcohol," and he's like, "Okay." But I mean, it's just
That was the Book of World Record shirt, not the beer.
The Guinness Book of World Records, of course.
It's ridiculous. I mean, it's just you can't have anything that's anything, or just princesses. Look, and
as long as it's gender neutral and gluten free, you should be fine.
Yeah, you can't have a pirate sword, right? You can't be a cop. I mean, you can, but you don't have a gun or a nightstick anymore.
Wouldn't the opposite work for that too?
If you're
gluten neutral or gender free?
Okay.
Probably either one.
6-1.
So I don't know. It just kind of
that you're going to say.
I mean, one of the proudest moments of my life when kids would come to our house for Halloween, I used to have like a cloak and a mask and like a claw thing on my hand.
And then you would change into your costume.
And then I would put my costume on, which was horrific. And
normally he just opened the door and looked like this, though.
Yeah. Well, that was the mask, a mask of my face.
I thought it was going to be a mask of my face. That was really,
No, that one proved to be traumatizing. But
of course.
So they were like, I would scare some of the littler kids, but I wouldn't go or anything like that. So one year there were two like middle school age girls that were walking by on the road, and one of them, and I was giving candy out to other kids, and I heard her over say, she pointed to the house, and she was talking to her friend, and she goes, "Yeah, I went to that house a couple years ago, and they scared the hell out of me." And I was like, that's what it's about.
What Halloween's for.
Yeah, that was one of my proudest moments of my life, that I scared like an 8-year-old girl on Halloween. And obviously,
proudest moment of my life.
Yeah, no, it's weird, but and then she got candy, so there was a reward. See, that's a kind of whole other thing. You get a fright, and then somebody gives you candy. But now it's just, it's terrible.
The Get On With It podcast has nothing to do with this. It's not condone this behavior, nor can confirm that any of this ever happened.
There you go.
So now confirm
nor deny, actually.
There, to the best of our knowledge, there was no candy given to young women for any
other reason than Halloween. So anyway,
well, that's
the point, right? All right, and
I mean, to be honestly, that's how my two children were born as well. I gave my wife a scare, and then I gave her some candy.
Now you gave her some candy, then she gave you the scare,
and then 9 months later,
about 3 weeks later,
a baby was born. So I don't know. It's a shame. It's a shame.
It's become. Yeah, I got you. I agree.
Harmless fun is not harmless anymore.
Yeah,
I think you just have to go to any bar on the whole weekend of Halloween, and you will see nothing but inappropriate behavior.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. But I don't want to hang out with those jerks.
Well, high school is, you have to tread a delicate line these days.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's not like it was when we were there.
Not all of it's bad.
No, not all of it's bad. All right, I have one more meme for you. Go back to the wrap up the dad joke portion of the show. There you go.
I didn't know we were having a dad.
No, this is Quentin Williams sacking Aaron Rodgers. Said, If I had Allstate instead of State Farm, I'd be better protected from mayhem like this.
By the way, were those Packers uniforms not the worst things you've ever seen?
I
know
wore,
what they are. They're just horrible.
I'm just saying, I think it was 1956 or 57 or something like that. 1 year they wore these uniforms as their home uniforms, and they became their throwbacks. And I got a feeling they became their throwbacks because other than those the Acme Packing or whatever it is, blue jerseys with the gold that they had back in the 20s, this was the only different one that they've ever had.
Yeah, their uniforms never really changed.
Yeah.
Oh, Pete's gone.
Pete's gone.
He went to get
I'm
his
still
candy.
here.
He's doing something. It's an OnlyFans project.
There were some people walking by the house, and I wanted to scare them.
There you go.
All right.
Well, there you go.
Let's get on with it.
Why don't we get on with it? All right. Let's start out with. Let's throw the banner up. Let's start out with. I'm gonna have to do a couple of jingles for these two. Let's start out with just a quickie.
Just a quickie.
Just a quickie. Here we go. Who wants to go first, Harry or Pete?
I'll go first.
It's the same question, but we'll start with Harry. Here we go. All right, Harry. I'm sorry, Pete. All right, there we go. Just kidding. All right, Pete, you go first. The all-time great sports star from any sport that you'd most want to go to an NFL game and watch the game and tailgate with is?
They have to be an all-time great.
Oh, it can be a mediocre one too. Doesn't matter. The sports star in any sport you'd most want to go to an NFL game to watch the game and tailgate with is?
That's a good question.
Who would it be?
I'll say,
Chad Pennington?
I'll say Chad Pennington.
There you go.
Why not?
Why not? Chad Pennington it is. All right. Harry.
Anna Kournikova. Done.
All right. Okay.
Doesn't matter what the event is.
Nope.
Could be pickleball.
Absolutely.
No.
Hopefully that's after the game.
You gotta watch the NFL game and tailgate with this person.
Yeah.
Oh,
thank
okay.
God.
Oh,
yeah.
it's an NFL game. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
But do you want to sit there with? So you're going to be explaining the game to her, probably.
No, come on.
I'm kidding.
I'm not going to be talking about football with her.
That's true. You're just going to be at the game talking about other things.
I'm just going to be staring at Anna Kournikova.
All right, fair enough. All right, short of Anna Kournikova, who would it be?
Martina Hingis.
All right.
The Czech national gymnastics team.
Short of a female to stare at for 4 hours, who would it be?
Well, there would be great conversation as well. It has to be an athlete. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
a male athlete.
It can be a woman athlete, but literally because of their athleticism, not because of their looks.
Anna Kournikova was a fantastic tennis player.
That's exactly the reason why you want to go to the game with her.
Well,
all right,
really respect her game.
All right,
I did.
Does she even speak English?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
I was going to say.
I hope so.
Maybe not. Actually, it might be better if she did.
Yeah,
she wouldn't have to say anything.
Yeah. We're gonna be gone by the third quarter. I mean, does it have to be alive?
No, anybody. Doesn't matter.
I mean, for fun, I think it would be fun to go to a game with John Madden.
Nice. All right. I like that.
Are you writing this down?
I'm documenting it. Yeah. I write these all down. We'll refer to them.
Okay.
In our memoirs. Now, cool. All right, John Madden. That's a good one. I didn't even think about that one. Whatchamacallit? Mine actually would have been Frank Gifford.
Oh God.
I just want to talk about
Kathy Lee coming.
I just want to talk about I don't want Kathy Lee. I just want to talk about the old school Giants. I want to hear some war stories from the 50s and 60s and that,
Sure.
So, but I might steal yours though, because that would be it. That would be
Anna Kournikov's a good one.
now you can take Anna Kournikova. I'll see you. I'll watch her from there because you're not doing anything with her anyway. So I'll just see her a little bit further away, and I'll hang out with John Madden. So cool. All right. That's just a quickie.
And you know what Madden will say? Hey, I think that's Anna Kournikova over there.
Is that Anna Kournikova over there? See, you take this section and you never mind.
See, you got Anna Kournikova and you get to go to the face and then you get boom, and then you get it down a little boom.
Every guy in this place is looking at Anna Kournikova.
There you go. All right, cool. All right, let's move on to. Hang on. Our quiz. All right, our regular.
Is it shorter this week?
Is it shorter this week?
It seemed really long last week.
Well, no. That's the rapid fire quiz. This is the regular quiz.
The rapid quiz is actually
long. The rapid quiz.
The regular quiz.
The rapid quiz is the long one.
Is this the sixth question?
This is the sixth one. Yeah.
All right. Before we start, I'm going to give you my answers. The New York Jets, Joe Namath, Shea Stadium, Chad Pennington, Joe Namath's brother, Ed, and the New York Titans.
All right.
Those are my answers.
Well, that's for the rapid fire.
That's for the rapid fire quiz.
This is going to be something like between the years of 2018 and 2022. I'm going to list 4 cornerbacks, and you have to find 2 more.
Both of you shut the hell up. Here we go. This week's quiz is top New York Jets offensive players from 1980 through 2000. Top New York Jets offense. There were 6 of them. They were. The Jets were actually good in the 80s.
He's actually going to get some of his answers here.
Yeah. 1980 to 2000.
Ken O'Brien.
I'm going to give you 6.
You would think.
I'm going to give you 6. 4 got to stay. 2 got to go. Here we go. Write these down.
By the way,
I guarantee you, I might not know one of these.
I'm going to hang up the answer to tonight's over-under here.
There you go.
The answer, not the...
the actual answer, not the over-under.
Yeah.
All right. Shoot. Go. We could do 2 things at once. Go.
Well, I don't think Pete can write with his... Well,
you don't need to write.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm not going to know the answer anyway.
Hey, Will, this is for you.
There we go. Perfect.
There we go. Perfect. You have your faces blocked out.
There we go.
Perfect. There we go. Okay, write these down. Here we go.
All right, write them down.
Ken O'Brien. Freeman McNeil. Altoon. Wayne Corbett. Wesley Walker.
How long did he play on the Jets?
Wow. 9 years, 10 years.
Okay.
Wesley Walker and Mickey Schuler.
Right.
Once again, Ken O'Brien, Freeman McNeil, Altoon, Wayne Corbett, Wesley Walker, and Mickey Schuler. Radio Pete, kick us off.
All right. This is easy. Sherbert, gone. Never liked him. Sherbert. And I've always said this about Ken O'Brien. One thing that was good about him is he didn't throw a whole lot of interceptions. He would take the sack rather than try a risky pass.
Mm-hmm.
But I still didn't like him that much, so he's gone too.
All right, so you're keeping Freeman McNeil, Altoon.
Freeman, one of the great running backs, Toon and Walker. By the way, Wesley Walker blind in one eye. Amazing that he could catch the ball. 2 of the best receivers the Jets ever had.
Mm-hmm.
And Mickey Schuler, because he's not Ken O'Brien or Wayne Corbett.
There you go. Harry.
I mean, yeah, this is easy. Corbett and Schuler or Schubert or whatever the fuck his name is are gone.
Schuler.
Yeah.
So you're keeping Kenny O?
Of course. I'm keeping all the ones that actually are head and tails above the other 2. So yeah, Freeman, Kenny O, Altoon, and Wesley Walker.
All right, there you go. Fair enough. So Ken, so Pete has Freeman McNeil, Al Toon, Wesley Walker, Mickey Schuler. Ken and Harry has Ken O'Brien, Freeman McNeil, Al Toon, and Wesley Walker. There you go. All right, cool. That was our Jets offensive players from 80 to 2000 quiz. All right.
I mean, is Ken O'Brien the best quarterback the Jets ever had? I mean, you could throw Joe Namath in there. Okay,
I would say Joe Namath was the best quarterback.
All right.
What about Richard Todd?
True. I think O'Brien's numbers were way better than Todd's.
Yeah,
O'Brien wasn't a bad quarterback.
I would say statistically, Ken O'Brien was probably a better quarterback than Joe Namath, but for what he did for the team and how he did
that one time at band camp.
Right, exactly. Yeah. All right.
Ken O'Brien, bad memories because
I know
that draft.
I get it.
Oh yeah, it wasn't Ken O'Brien's fault.
Well, Ken O'Brien,
I know,
just as many Super Bowl wins as Dan Marino.
As Dan Marino, right?
Small consolation.
There you go. All right. Let's move on now to our NFL history rapid fire quiz. There we go.
Boy.
All right, Pete, you're going first.
Okay, remember.
Just to recap.
New York Jets, Joe Namath, Shea Stadium, Chad
Joe
Pennington,
Namath,
Ed Namath,
Joe Namath,
New York Titans. Those are my 6 answers.
All right,
number 12.
Let's actually write. Let's actually write them down and see how they do.
I might get 2.
Come on, go. Go.
All right, fine. Okay, here we go, Pete. You're going to start us off. Ready? You ready?
Yeah.
All right,
yeah. Let's go.
Which Jets player holds the single season pass receptions record for the Jets?
You mean number of receptions?
Number of receptions. Not yards, number of receptions. Like you caught it once, you caught it twice. Which Jets player?
I'll say Wesley Walker.
Wesley Walker would be wrong. Harry, for the steal?
What year was it? Nah, I can't answer that. It was recent, wasn't it? Like more recent than you think. What the hell was his name? Guy from the Bears. Brandon Marshall.
Brandon Marshall would be correct.
Wow.
I think either of you would get that. So kudos to you, Harry.
Yeah, how the hell would you know which Jet has the most?
I just remember he had a really good year, and I remembered it was the guy who came from the Bears.
He had an awesome year. It's 2015.
2015. To me, that's recent.
Yeah.
Anything after like 2000.
He caught
2000 is recent.
He caught 109 passes that year. So, all right, Harry, your question. Here we go. Harry, who invented the spike celebration after scoring a TD?
Wasn't Billy White Shoes Johnson, was it?
Is that your answer?
I don't know who invented the spike. It was before that. Guessing maybe it was a running back. Jim Brown.
Jim Brown would be wrong. Pete, for the steal.
I'll say invented the spike. I'll say
Brandon Marshall.
What was my second answer? Joe Namath. Damn it, it's not that.
Shea Stadium.
I'll say, Billy Sims.
Billy Sims.
No, it was way before that, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know, but I have no idea.
All right. Nope. No, neither of you got that right. Homer Jones on the Giants,
Oh.
actually.
Oh my gosh.
In 1965, he caught an 89-yard touchdown pass. An 89-yard touchdown pass from Earl Morrall. And he was on the verge of tossing it. It was by accident that he invented it, by the way. He was on the verge of, was just about to toss it, the football into the crowd, which a lot of people had done back in the day. But Pete Rozelle, who was the commissioner at the time, stopped it. He said, "No more. You're not throwing footballs into the crowd anymore." So he's about to do it, and he just kept going and went down and just threw it right into the ground. And then reporters asked him afterwards, and he called it, that's me spiking the football. I'm spiking the celebration. So that's how the spike was invented. Homer Jones invented it by mistake that day. So
there we go.
There you go. So neither of you got that. All right, back to Pete. Here we go. Joe Namath holds the single season. Joe Namath holds the single season
Shea Stadium
record, single season record for passing yards by a quarterback for the Jets with 4,007. Okay. Who holds the second most, or who threw the second most
for the Jets?
For the Jets in the single season. So the record for the second most passing yards in a single season for the Jets. Joe Namath has to set the top one, 4,007. Who holds the second place?
I'll say Testaverde.
Vinny Testaverde would be wrong. Harry?
It's not Shea Stadium, is it?
It's not Shea Stadium.
Damn it.
I also think that this is more current. I was going to say Ken O'Brien. I don't think it's Ken O'Brien, although I think he's up there. I'm going to go out on a limb. Mm-hmm. I think it was Fitzpatrick when he played for the Jets.
You got it. It was the same year that Brandon Marshall caught 109 passes.
Yep. I see. I remember the Jets had a really good passing game that year.
See, Pete, this is what's known as a hint. Brandon Marshall in 2015 caught 109 passes. So,
okay, yeah, you're making a huge mistake, though.
What's that?
You're imagining that I would know who threw those passes.
You did.
I don't know who the quarterback from the Jets. I mean, I know now. I have no idea.
Chad Pennington.
Was 2015.
Chad Pennington's having a good year.
So Ryan Fitzpatrick threw for 3,905 yards. So 202 yards shy in 2015. So, all right.
Was O'Brien third?
O'Brien was third.
And probably fourth and fifth.
And fourth and fifth, man. No, Testaverde was up there too. I did look at it. I don't remember.
The only reason why I say this is because the numbers have continued to go up. That it does, even for every team, it's just whoever's playing now or more recently. You know?
Right. All right, Harry, your question. Here we go.
All right.
Which player led the Giants in receptions in in receptions in 1990?
1990.
In 1990.
All right, 1990.
Which player led the Giants in receptions?
Mark Jackson.
In 1990. No, it was not Mark Jackson. He was playing for the Bulls then.
I know. I'm just Bavaro.
Bavaro would be wrong. Radio Pete. By the way, why do you think? I just realized I made a mistake.
The answer was Shea Stadium.
No. The mistake was I didn't get our music playing for the.
Oh. No wonder I can't concentrate.
So this is the 89-90 season?
No, the 1990 season.
Okay, so the
year they went to the Super Bowl.
So they won the Super Bowl in 91.
They won the Super Bowl in January of 91. So this is the
90 season, Super Bowl season.
Super Bowl season.
All right, I'll say Phil McConkey.
Phil McConkey would be wrong as well. Harry, you were close with Bavaro. He had the second most with 33. Dave Meggett had 39 receptions.
Damn.
Wow.
So there you go.
That's crazy that those are the leading receivers.
The leading receivers in 1990. Yep. All right, back to Pete. Here we go. Which two Jet running backs are tied for the franchise record? I'm sorry. Which two Jets running backs are tied for the franchise record for TD receptions in their career? Running backs, TD receptions. Okay. So a running back catching a TD reception. So Pete, which two Jets running backs are tied for the franchise record for TD receptions by a running back in their career?
Not just on the Jets.
No, on the Jets, for the Jets. Their Jets career.
It's not Ed Namath, is it?
It's not Ed Namath.
So Jets running backs.
I'm gonna do this, and I don't think Harry would. I'll let Harry approve this or not. Name one of the two. You don't have to name them both. Name one of the two.
The question was two. I'll say Curtis Martin and Freeman McNeil.
Okay, well, I switched it to one, so you got one of them.
Okay.
You had Freeman McNeil.
It was Ed Namath.
Ed Namath, right.
Curtis Martin was not on there?
Was not one of them, no.
Freeman McNeil would have been my guess.
Freeman McNeil.
So the other one?
So I'm giving this one to you, Pete. But let's see if either of you can get the other one, just for shits and giggles.
I'm trying to think of Jets.
Emerson
Running
Boozer?
back.
There you go. You got the other one anyway. So Emerson
Yeah.
Boozer.
Nice.
Emerson Boozer, and Freeman McNeil. There you go.
I'm gonna put him in my answers for next week.
There you go.
That's a good one.
There you go.
Fuck you, Ed Namath.
Isn't he your neighbor?
Yeah, he lives down the street.
There you go.
I get 1990 questions about the Giants pass reception.
So Emerson Boozer was a little before 1990. And so was Freeman McNeil. So,
but it's also like somebody that is, never mind.
I figured you'd know Dave Meggett. I mean, come on.
I didn't think about Meggett. I thought, I really thought it was Bavaro.
Meggett was the utility back. They used him like nuts that year.
You would think it would be a receiver, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
I would have said Bavaro, so
Yeah.
I don't know if that's good or bad. Like you had the same answer that I would have had, so that's not a good sign.
I think we both just have the same level of give a shit.
There you go.
Yeah, but yours is somewhat bolstered by memory and knowledge.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see if he gets his memory here. This one's a little bit
right.
more recent than 1990.
All
So
right.
here you go. Here you go, Harry. What quarterback took the Giants to the NFC East title and the playoffs in 1997?
That was. They didn't go to the Super Bowl that year?
97. No, 3 years
What
later.
was, what was the year? Yeah, 2000. Was it Cannell?
Very good, Danny Cannell. You got it.
They went to the NFC Championship game with him that year?
No. Not the championship. No, they went to the NFC East title.
That's right.
They won the division and went to the playoffs.
Was he did he start the season as quarterback? He did.
Yeah. Yep. With Chris Callaway as his wide receiver and Tiki Barber as his running back. So
Danny Cannell.
There you go.
Not a bad year.
Wasn't that bad. They went 10-5-1 that year.
Mm.
Do you remember who they tied?
The Redskins.
Very good. Give that man a cheroot. All right. Okay, back to Pete. Here we go. Pete, which Jet holds the franchise record for most kickoff returns for TDs in a season? And I'm going to give you a hint. It was this century. Okay.
Well, that narrows it down.
So, which Jet holds the franchise record for most kickoff returns for TDs in a season?
I'll say what does this century mean? Does that mean it starts with a 2?
Starts with a 2, right? Exactly.
I'll say Leon Washington.
Leon Washington would be correct, sir. You got it.
Wow.
Oh, all right.
What? How many? Like 3? 4?
Three. He ran back 3 kickoff returns for TDs, 3 of them. So, all right, back to Harry. Here we go. Which Giant rushed for Which Giant rushed for the most career yards by a running back for the Giants in the 20th century? So, the century that started with a 1, or in 19
career.
Most career yards by a running back for the Giants in the 20th century.
So who had the most rushing yards for the Giants in the 20th century?
Who had the most rushing yards for the Giants
while playing for the Giants
in his Giants career in the 1900s?
Did Hampton play into the 2000s?
You asking me, or you?
I believe that the Giants' all-time rushing leaders are Tiki, who's obviously not the answer to this.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it's Rodney Hampton and then Joe Morris.
Joe Morris. Go ahead. What's your gut?
So I'm trying to think. Joe Morris obviously didn't play into the two, but I'm trying to think of Tiki Barber's or Rodney Hampton's years that he played. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm missing somebody.
So who are you going with?
I don't know. Rodney Hampton. What year was he fucking? I'm going to say Rodney Hampton.
I was going to shoot you if you didn't. So, yes, it's Rodney Hampton. Joe Morris held the single-season rushing record with 1,516 in 1986. But in the 20th century, for most rushing yards in his career, Rodney Hampton had 6,897 yards rushing from 1990 through 1997.
So see, he was close. He was on the bubble there,
and that's when Tiki started becoming the running back. So,
but Morris was close, wasn't he? Like 1,000 less.
Yeah, no, he was close. Yeah. So there you go. All right, good. All right, back to Pete. Who is the most recent Jets head coach? The most recent Jets head coach to leave his post as the head coach with a plus 500 record.
Career?
Coaching the Jets.
Career coaching the Jets, not in a season.
Career coaching the Jets. Who is the most recent Jets head coach to leave his post as the Jets head coach with above a 500 record?
I mean, this is pretty obvious, right?
I don't know.
I think of him as probably the best coach of the Jets in the recent history. It's got to be above 500. helping you, Pete. I could be wrong though. I could be wrong.
I think we're thinking of the same person, but I don't know.
I can't think of anybody after him that had more than 500 record. But I might be missing somebody. I forget some of the Jets coaches over the years.
Yeah, I don't. They're eminently forgettable.
Well, they all have one syllable first names. So.
Robert.
Never mind. It was a
A
bit.
hint.
It was a bit.
Was it him?
Maybe there was somebody there for a brief period of time that did have a winning record. I can't think though.
Was it Herman Edwards?
Is that your guess?
I
It
guess.
doesn't have to be. It's up to you.
I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine he had a winning record. I'll just say Bill Parcells. I have no idea.
Bill Parcells would be wrong.
Yeah. Okay.
It's got to be Sexy Rexy.
No, it's not Sexy Rex either.
It isn't.
Wrong. You're both wrong. The most recent head coach to leave the Jets post with a plus 500 record. Now, Bill Parcells left with a way plus over 500 record.
But not with the Jets.
No, with the
Okay.
Jets. With the Jets. But there was a coach after him. In fact, it was the coach immediately after him. No. Yeah, right. He left with a 0-0 record.
Yeah, that was 0-0.
No, there was one coach for 1 year between Bill Parcells and Herm Edwards, and that was neither of you.
I can't remember.
Al Groh. He coached the Jets.
Oh,
He coached the Jets to a 9-7 record in that one
Al
season.
Groh. Yeah, that was the guy we couldn't remember. And then he left for Virginia.
Then he went to the University of Virginia. Yeah.
Didn't Al Groh coach with the Giants too? Wasn't he a coordinator or something?
He was on the staff. He was on Bill Parcells' staff for the.
There you go. No.
Back in the day. Well, obviously, most of those coaches were Bill Parcells'
Right.
Yeah.
tree. They just brought him around with him.
All right.
So there you go. All right, Harry.
Yes.
Al Groh.
Ready? You got to listen to this question. Here we go.
Yes.
Who lost 3 Super Bowls as a player, but won 3 Super Bowls as a coach with the same team?
Same team.
Who lost 3 Super Bowls as a player, but won 3 Super Bowls as a coach with the same team?
Well, let's narrow it down to see who. So won 3 Super Bowls with one team.
Mm-hmm. As a coach, not
a head coach.
A coach.
It's a head coach.
Whatever that means. A coach.
So it was a player.
So it doesn't have to be one. Doesn't have to
Bowls.
be one team.
No. With the same team.
Same team.
The same team. All 3
So
losses.
the 3
and 3
losses
wins.
and the 3 wins were all with the same team.
Same team.
Did Chuck Noll play? Same team.
Same team.
As a player and a coach.
Yep.
Some Joe Gibbs. Did Chuck Noll play? No. As a coach. It's not Dan. I don't know. The only coach I could think of, it's not the same team though. did Reeves? Dan Reeves. I don't know. Dan Reeves.
That would be incorrect. That would be incorrect. Radio Pete for the steal.
He had to be on 3 Super Bowl losing teams. And then
As a player.
He lost 3 Super Bowls as a player, but won 3 as a coach, all with the same team.
How about I'm drawing a blank on his name. For the Cowboys. With the hat. I can't remember his name.
Tom
Landry. Yeah, that's it. I'll say Tom Landry.
That would be incorrect as well.
All right.
All right.
Gonna go another round?
Let's try again. Keep going until you get it.
Yeah, until somebody gets it.
No, why not? Give it one more
I'm
shot.
trying to think. I'm trying to think of who lost 3 all with the same team.
Lost 3 as a player and won 3 as a coach, all with the same team.
I mean, they'd have to be with that team for, I would think, a considerable amount of time.
You would think.
To get to 6 Super Bowls.
It's the coach thing. I'm trying to think of who became like a assistant coach. It's not Jim Kelly, is it?
Is that your guess?
No.
Because I said no, and then asked you if that was your guess.
John shaking his head.
Well, Pete, you could throw another one in there too.
I'm
was
trying
it? I don't. They haven't won 3.
as a coach, not an owner, right? Okay.
Not an owner.
Because I was going to say Elway, but
No, it's probably somebody on the Patriots, right?
well, they lost 3 as a player.
Lost 3 as a player, won 3 as a coach.
Did the Patriots go to 3 Super Bowls and lose? Well, they lost 2 to the Giants.
Patriots have lost 5 Super Bowls.
But they never like won one back in the day, though, right? So it'll be somebody relatively recently. How many New England Patriots coaches do you know the names of?
I don't think there's anybody on the Patriots who were on all 3 of those losing teams. I'm thinking it's a Buffalo Bill. Is it only 3? They didn't lose 4, right?
They lost 3 as a player and won 3 as a coach.
Yeah, what are the 3 Super Bowls that Buffalo won?
Yeah, that's true.
Because I thought of that too. I was thinking
yeah.
Who was the back? Was it Frank Reich? Was the backup quarterback? I was thinking of him, but he didn't win 3 Super Bowls.
Nope.
I'll say Drew Bledsoe.
No. All right. I'm going to throw one hint out there. All right. And then if either of you don't get it on this next guest, then that's it. He won an additional Super Bowl. He's actually won 4 Super Bowls as a coach. But the first of the 4 that he won was with a different team. But the second, third, and fourth Super Bowls he won, he was coach with the same team he lost the 3 Super Bowls with as a player. Not that maybe that doesn't help at all, but
Well, that narrows it down to 1,700 different guys. So he lost to as a player, went to coach somewhere else,
and won one,
then went back to the team he played for and won three more.
Three more.
Who is the returning player who joined the coaching staff and won? But who lost three? How many Super Bowls did Minnesota ever win?
Win?
None.
0.
None, right? Yeah.
I can't think of anybody.
The most intriguing question I've asked in this segment so far.
I mean, somebody from the 49ers? I don't know.
You don't know? Harry?
Tom Flores. I have no idea.
All right. The team that he went and won a Super Bowl with, the first Super Bowl he won as a coach, he was the quarterbacks coach for the San Francisco 49ers just for 1994. And they went and won the Super Bowl against the Chargers that year. The team he played for and the team he went back to after that year to become the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach, and then eventually just the offensive coordinator, and then eventually the head coach would be the Denver Broncos, and it would be Mr. Gary Kubiak.
I was going to say Kubiak. I didn't think he played in that many Super Bowls.
He played for he got drafted the same year Elway got drafted. And he was Elway's backup for 8 years.
I should have known that.
It was Elway's backup quarterback for 8 years. Lost the Super Bowl to the Giants, the Redskins, and the 49ers. Yeah. And then after 91 season, he went to Texas A&M for a couple of years. And then went to the 49ers, won a Super Bowl, went back to the Broncos, won 2 Super Bowls. And then 15 years later, or 16, 17 years later, was the head coach and won the Super Bowl with Peyton Manning.
Well, I'll be damned.
Well, there you go. Gary,
that's a bit of a trick. I mean, how much did he actually play in those years that they lost?
He was a player on the team that, I mean, the punter was a player on the team, right? If he didn't punt a Super Bowl, he still gets a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, but he had probably had more snaps than Kubiak did. But yeah, you're right. You're right.
Good one. Good one.
There you go.
You win a bar bet on that one.
There you go. Okay, one more question each, and we're done. Here we go.
Oh, geez.
Pete, here we go. Which NFL team did? Bless you.
Sorry.
Which NFL team did the Jets blow out 41-0 in the 2002 wildcard game, which also, I should say, is the last home playoff game the Jets ever had?
Once again, New York Titans.
No.
That's what I have written here.
Oh, I got you. I forgot. Which NFL team did the Jets blow out 41-0 in the 2002 wildcard game, which is the last home playoff game the Jets ever hosted?
I feel like this was part of a question previously.
I'll say the Colts.
Very good. You got it.
Yeah, I think I was at
I can't remember that.
I was watching that. I think it was an EVD for one of those ridiculous board op ships when that game was on.
That was
Yeah,
Peyton Manning, right?
Peyton Manning, yep. Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
And talk about a what?
A bit of a surprise.
Oh yeah, and
Shut him out.
what? Shut him out. And what quarterback shut him out? Threw 3 touchdown passes in that game.
Ed Namath.
Pete, what quarterback threw 3 touchdown passes in that game?
Santonio Holmes.
Ed
He
Pennington.
I don't know who he was, but I would love
Chad
to go
Pennington.
I would love to go to a football game with him.
Chad Pennington.
Exactly. All right.
If Anna Kournikova wasn't available, I would take whoever that quarterback was.
There you go. All right, here we go. Harry, last question.
This is all good.
Which NFL team has played in the most stadiums but has never moved?
You mean
Like-
never moved the city?
Move the city, right? Yeah, never moved the city. What NFL team has played in the most stadiums but never moved their city?
All right, let me ask a question. This exact city or the general metropolitan area?
General metropolitan area. Where they are.
Most stadiums, but it's got to be one of the older. The Bears have been there forever. I don't think it's the Giants because that's not that much. The Raiders have moved cities, but that doesn't meet the criteria.
What's the number of stadiums?
I can give you that. It's 8.
Can you? All right. Well, then I don't know the answer.
8.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Kansas City. I don't think so. I'm trying to go through the list of teams. I don't know. I think I know the Chargers have played in a lot of cities, but they technically changed cities, right?
Chargers changed cities, yes.
So that doesn't mean. I don't think it's the Giants or the Jets. I'm going to go with 8 stadiums.
8 stadiums.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Kansas City Chiefs would be incorrect. And they actually changed cities. They were the Dallas Texans at one point.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Radio Pete for the steal. What do you think?
Like I want to say like. I mean, I know the Rams moved, but they might have played in 8 different places while they were in LA. But I don't know. I don't think that's the answer. I'll say I don't know, Miami.
That would be incorrect as well.
Is it the Patriots?
It is not the Patriots. That is wrong too. Pete, you want to take one more?
I'll say the 49ers.
That would be incorrect as well.
Well, let's just keep going.
Eventually, one of you will get it.
Somebody will stumble.
I'm trying to think of. It's definitely not the Broncos. It's not the Raiders.
I don't know. Did the Raiders? See, the Raiders
I
would
don't think
be
there's been that many.
They moved though.
But did they really? I mean, obviously to Las Vegas, but
Well,
oh
to
no,
Los
they went from
Angeles,
Oakland to L.A. Yeah. I guess that's. But that doesn't mean they couldn't have played in 8 different places while they were still in Oakland. But that's not the answer.
Boy, you know what? This is coming back to me. This might be wrong. Well, I think early on, I'm going to say the Packers.
You would be correct.
I knew that. I should have fucking knew that. I remember looking at reading an article about the fact that they moved around a lot before they
1919 to 1922, they played in Hagermeister Park. 1923 to 25, they played at Bellevue Park. 26 to 56, for 30 years, they played at City Stadium. Whatchamacallit, in 1933, in the middle of City Stadium, they played at Borchert Field. From 1934 to 1951, 2 to 3 games annually, they played at the Wisconsin State Fair Park.
Okay, so they
years.
I take exception to this because the city changed. Because some of these were in Milwaukee and some of them were in Green Bay.
In 1952, well, they were the Green Bay Packers.
And Green Bay is a city, and they didn't play in Green Bay.
In 1950, hold on. In 1952, they played at Marquette Stadium.
In Milwaukee.
53 to 94, they played at Milwaukee County Stadium. And but only 2 to 4 games annually. And they played at Lambeau Field from 1957 through now. But here's the thing. It is about an hour and 45-minute ride, maybe 2-hour ride, maybe 2:15 from Green Bay to Milwaukee.
Okay.
All right.
It's less than that from the Polo.
The Giants never moved, but they played at the Yale Bowl, and that's about 2.5 hours up to New Haven, Connecticut.
They also played at Yankee Stadium, which is in the Bronx, and then they played in East Rutherford, New Jersey.
Right. And they
moved.
That's a sketchy question.
They didn't move. Like when I say
the
move,
name of the team didn't change.
They didn't move. Well, they didn't move from Oakland to Los Angeles, and then they didn't move the Rams. They didn't move from Cleveland to L.A. to St. Louis and back to
You're
LA.
telling me that when the Jets moved from Shea to Giant Stadium, it was not a big thing. Come on, that's a move.
It's in that. You just said the general metropolitan area. We said that.
It's a different state.
I would call San Diego and Los Angeles a general metropolitan area.
San Diego and Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Would you? All right. That's fine. But the Chargers went from Los Angeles down to San Diego
the name.
and then back to Los Angeles.
All right.
Anyway. So, but you're taking exception to it. He got it right, but he took exception.
Last question. Which Jets quarterback
Ed Namath
played in Shea Stadium for the New York Jets in 1969? All right.
Ed Namath.
Rough
Ed Namath.
I don't think I got any right.
No, you won.
Not very well, though. Oh, Rodney Hampton I got right. All right.
All right. There we go.
Now listen, LA to San Diego is 120 miles, 1 hour and 52 hours.
Well, with traffic, 17 hours.
Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah, it's
So
a general.
that might be...
It's like Denver to Colorado Springs. Yeah.
Look, we said it before. We set it up. They didn't move. They didn't become the Philadelphia Giants, or the Green Bay Packers didn't become the Milwaukee Packers. And by the way, when they played in Milwaukee, it was 2 games a year. They were still playing in Lambeau. You know, Lambeau was the home stadium.
That's why it came to me. Eventually, it came to me. But when you think of the Packers, you think of them always playing at Lambeau.
Right. So,
sure.
There you go. All right.
That's why I thought it was a team.
And that's
Kansas
what
City.
1957.
But then I realized Kansas City was. I knew it was a team that it's been around for a long time. I forgot Kansas City moves from Dallas to Kansas City.
Yeah. So, all right. Okay. That brings us to our, where are we? There it is. Yeah. Our top 5 list. Our top 5 list tonight is the top 5 defensive players in the NFL right now, individual list. So let's just recite them all. You want me to recite them for everybody? There you go. So Pete's list is, and as follows: Nick Bolton, linebacker for the Kansas City Chiefs.
You don't have a scroll, so we don't have a ticker.
No, we don't have a ticker. I do the ticker in the afternoon, and
yeah.
Anyway, Micah Parsons, linebacker for Dallas, for the Cowboys. Roquan Smith, linebacker for the Bears. Tariq Woolen, cornerback for the Seahawks, and Max Crosby, defensive end for the Las Vegas Raiders. Harry's are Nick Bolton, linebacker for Kansas City. Max Crosby, defensive end for the Raiders. Rayshawn Jenkins, safety for the Jaguars. Eddie Jackson, safety for the Bears. And then he has a tie at 5, and that's Micah Parsons, linebacker for the Cowboys, and Darius Slay, cornerback for the Eagles. There. I'll give you mine. I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So like we did the others. So my number 1 would be L'Jarius Sneed. He's a cornerback for the Kansas City Chiefs. And I got some individual stats for him. 47 tackles, 4 hurries, and 3 sacks. 69.4 fantasy points in the IDP leagues, by the way, if that's of any interest to anyone. Max Crosby is my number 2, defensive end for the Raiders. 31 tackles, 9 hurries, and 6 sacks, 68 points. Nick Bolton is my number 3, linebacker for the Chiefs. 60 tackles, 3 hurries, and 2 sacks, 64.4 points. Micah Parsons is my number 4, linebacker for the Cowboys. 26 tackles, 12 hurries, and 6 sacks, 64.2 points. And I threw in as my 5th, just almost mainly because of what he did last weekend. And that would be Quinnen Williams for the nose tackle for the Jets. You don't see many nose tackles anymore. But nose tackle for the Jets, 22 tackles, 11 hurries, and 5 sacks. So those are my top 5. Discussion on these. I mean, we all of us have Nick Bolton, all of us have Max Crosby, and all of us have Micah Parsons.
Yeah, there's some good young defensive people who are making their names. I think there's some injuries, obviously, with people like TJ Watt, and it's hard in today's NFL to. There's the obvious stat of sacks, right? And then you have tackles, which is usually an inside linebacker. But there's, when there's somebody that jumps out that is, a defensive back who's got 40 somewhat, tackles and has, 3 interceptions and has, 6 passes defended. Stats are there. It's a little hard to compile all of them. This actually took me a while for me to kind of make heads or tails of all this. I mean, you look at somebody like a Bobby Wagner for the Rams. I mean, he's got 4 tackles and 46 tackles and, 2. I mean, there's a lot of players that you could put up to where their numbers aren't necessarily jumping out, but there's a lot of players who are just doing quite a bit right now. And, having 40, 50, 60 tackles already through 6 games is pretty impressive. I don't care who you are.
Oh, absolutely. It's a lot.
Yeah, this was now, did you guys rank these like I just kind of picked 5 guys. I wouldn't say,
the order I gave them was the order I have them in. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So
right. But I mean, if you're like Harry, you and I both had Nick Bolton number 1.
Right.
Does that mean you think he's the best player?
I think so far this season, I think he's, and the reason for that is that he's got 60 tackles. He's an inside linebacker primarily with 2 sacks. You know, he's got 5 tackles for losses. So I sort of took, for more interior guys, I took tackles, sacks, tackles for losses, and if they had any interceptions or fumble recoveries, then I added that in. For defensive backs, I sort of took tackles, interceptions, and passes defended. You know, so I just sort of tried to look at that and then say, okay, who's really jumping out at it? And while there's guys who have, I also sort of weighted, okay, what kind of impact are they having on their team? And so for somebody like Nick Bolton, I think Kansas City's defense is a lot better this year. And so, you know, he kind of jumped up, even though he's not leading the league in tackles. He's, I just felt like his impact on that defense has meant a lot. So things of that nature. It's a little subjective.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. That's kind of like I had Smith from the Bears. You know,
right.
60 plus tackles, sack and a half, an interception, you know. Not the, well, I guess it's amongst the leaders in tackles, but, you know, not standing out necessarily in any singular category, but
yeah, I mean, he's right up to, you know,
having a big impact for his team. So.
And that's why I had Eddie Jackson, because I mean, he's got 43 tackles as a safety and 3 interceptions. So so he's second in the league in interceptions, and you know, it's so.
It's funny. I look at this, and like I said, we all 3 of us had Nick Bolton, Micah Parsons, and Max Crosby in different places, but we all had them.
Yeah, that's kind of the question I was asking. Like I had Micah Parsons listed at number 2. I don't necessarily think he's the second best.
No, not the
player in the league. I just kind of.
I think he's top 5.
Yeah, top 5. Yeah. He's number 5 for Harry, and he's number 4 for me.
Yeah.
But like what I was going to say is, like, both of you had them at 1, 2, 5.
Mm-hmm.
All 3 of them in different orders, but 1, 2, 5. All right. And your number 3 and your number 4 were different for both of you. My number 1 and my number 5 were different because I had the 3 of them at 2, 3, 4. So my number 1, L'Jarius Sneed's really doing a lot as a cornerback in Kansas City.
Yeah, and Rayshon Jenkins for Jacksonville. I mean, 36 tackles, 3 interceptions, and 7 passes defended. I mean, he's sort of up there in all of those categories. And I do think that, you know, Jacksonville's obviously a much improved team this year, and he's probably a big part of that. So this could very easy. It would have been hard to get this down to a top 10 list. I was also trying to pick a variety of positions.
Sure.
Yeah, I was too. That was kind of on my mind.
Because it's easy to sort of, you know, when everybody talks about defensive players of the year, they always kind of talk about either edge rushers or, you know, defensive ends.
Yeah, it's sacks or interceptions.
It's a sack. It's a sack.
It's the 2 benchmarks, and you know, but kind of what you said before with, you know, the sort of quote unquote modern defenses where you have that one linebacker who's making all the tackles, and you know, hopefully a good edge rusher, and then everybody else is a defensive back. So
yeah, and the other one I used as a differentiator is tackles for loss. So if it was a defensive end or a rushing, you know, pass rushing linebacker, I sort of looked at that.
Right.
You know, there's other advanced analytics, but they don't come out as much. And you know, a lot of the best cornerbacks, for instance, might not be up here in interceptions or passes defended because they're not thrown at.
You know,
right.
So,
yeah.
So
it's a very, very subjective.
But there's some safeties right now that are having really big years, putting up linebacker type numbers with tackles and still making big impact on the passing game. So it's interesting so far.
Yeah.
And there's some new names. I think there's it's not just the Nick Boses and the TJ Watts and the names that we've been Aaron Donalds and the Nick, you know.
Right.
You know,
although,
Bradley,
you know, Bosa and Watts, those names would probably be there, except they haven't played, you know. So, someone's got to fill that void, and that's exactly what these guys are doing.
Yeah. Yep.
So, there you go. All right. So, there you go. So, do we have an old balls tonight?
I don't think so.
Want to do one?
Not really. I didn't really get one. Old
Uh,
balls defensive player. I don't know. Who is the guy who? I mean, I think we've done so many of them.
We've done a lot of them. We have. So, well, I'll tell you what. Hold off on that. While you think about that, I got another just a quickie for you. It's got a non-sports just a quickie for you.
Oh God!
All right. We'll start.
Okay.
We'll start with Harry on this one. All right.
Is this 6? You have to pick 6 things.
No. It's just a quickie.
I guess.
Here we go.
I don't know the difference between it.
It's only 4 things.
It's only 5.
Okay.
So we'll throw it back up. Okay. The one classic movie that I would like to see, that I would most like to see a sequel of, is
A classic. I mean, if it's a classic movie, you almost don't want to see a sequel.
well. That's why the question that I would most like to see a sequel. There could be plenty of classic movies you don't want to see a sequel of.
Well, now it would probably be like a prequel or something, or a sequel, or different different people.
Right.
So not a remake.
Yeah.
Not a remake, a sequel. Well, you could say a sequel or a prequel if you want, but not a remake, a sequel.
I don't know.
The one classic movie that I would most like to see a sequel of. So, what could it be? What could it be?
You know, I'm going to go with Beetlejuice.
All right.
I think that they could pull off a sequel to Beetlejuice.
What would you think the plot would be?
I don't know. Was there ever a plot in Beetlejuice?
Not so much, no.
I mean, it ended where there could be a more of a story there.
Obviously, Michael Keaton would have to come back around and something else and whatever.
Yeah, but he could be vanquished by was it Winona Ryder?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Vanquished by her character.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as he wants revenge for his defeat
mean,
at the hands of
it's a world of the undead. Could be fun, and I think because of the makeup and because of
almost do like a Walking Dead spoof.
Yeah, I think Michael Keaton could pull it off still.
In a way,
Yeah.
So, anyway, cool. All right, Pete.
I'm going to say Slapshot.
See, I was going to say that's one of my favorite movies, but I don't ruin it. They can. The reason why I say that, here's why. What made Slapshot so great is the fact that it was so under the radar and so politically incorrect by today's standards that it would just neuter it completely if they were to try to do.
Well, if you had the right person making it, then someone with enough clout, then they could.
Yeah.
But it couldn't be what it was as far as that sort of incorrectness, so to speak. But it could be close.
Cool. I'll give you 2 actually. My one that I was about to tell you, I'll tell you second, but I'll tell you that right now. My main one, and I'll tell you the laughing one afterwards. White Men Can't Jump.
Oh boy, I'm not sure. I remember that movie. I mean, I know what it is. I don't remember. I don't remember the details of it. White Men Still Can't Jump.
I don't know.
Starring Nikola Jokic.
Well, that's the other thing too, right? Sequels now they don't put a 2 or a 3 in front of anything anymore. It's a different name, right?
Right.
Like, dude, where's my car? And then, seriously, dude, where's my car? And Friday night or another Friday night, that kind of thing. Or 48 hours, another 48 hours.
Maybe it's White Women.
White Women Can't Jump, or White Women Can Jump.
There you go.
There you go. That's a whole different premise, though. I was just going to say, I would love to see any one of the Mel Brooks movies have a sequel. Because they were, History of the World was one of my favorites. But Blazing Saddles, you can't do a sequel of that because they can't even barely show that right now. But History of the World, I don't know, Spaceballs. Do another Spaceballs. Like, you know, I mean, there's so many incarnations of and versions of Star Wars now. Do a Spaceballs.
All right, so I was on to something when I said White Men Still Can't Jump.
White Men Still Can't Jump.
There was a short film done in 2020 called White Men Still Can't Jump.
Seriously?
Now, is that about?
It's about basketball.
Okay.
They're posing the same way Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson did, and on the cover of White Men Can't Jump. Yeah.
So, yeah.
You know what? I'll tell you, here's one that just came to me. This might be good.
JFK.
the Jackie story. No, Dazed and Confused.
Yeah.
They just sort of have to just keep making the movie. You know what I mean? The movie ends with the car driving. They just have to pick it up.
I think they'd have to get new actors. They
would, but
you don't think Matthew McConaughey would reprise that role?
Yeah, I
think he would.
I think it would be annoying. I think he'd be so annoying now that
that'd be funny.
Or maybe they take the original cast and they make them the parents, you know, of the next breed of.
There you go.
Right, kids rebelling and want to go back.
I mean, my cousin Vinny would 70s. Be good.
My cousin Vinny. There you go. That would be good. That would be good. I could see that. I could see that.
My cousin Vinny Jr.
My cousin Vinny Boombats.
All right.
All right. The reason I thought about that was there's a new movie coming out. It's being released next month, I believe, and it's, of course, you know, the Christmas Story, right, with Ralphie and You'll Shoot Your Eye Out and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
They did a sequel of it, and it's Peter Billingsley playing an older Ralphie and bringing his daughter to the house that he grew up in. But I'm curious to see it. I'll watch it, but I'm curious to see it because it can't be now, because he was like 10 years old or 12 years old in like the early 30s in that movie. So if he's in his, you know, 40s with
was that movie really set in the 30s?
It's set in the 30s, like 1933 or something like that. 32, 33.
It doesn't seem that it seemed like more like early 50s.
No, it was set in the 30s. Set in the 30s, yeah. But whatchamacallit? So he, you know, if that were the case,
like the 70s or whatever.
It's got to be early. If he's in his 40s, it's got to be in like the 50s or 60s. You know, 70s the latest. But if it's the 70s, then he'd be taking his granddaughter there. Maybe he is. I don't know, but so I'm curious to see what they do.
I would think the 60s would have the most comedic value, right?
Value for it, yeah,
because
maybe.
Of the culture clash and all that.
Right. It's possible. So.
Yeah, he'd have to be a middle-aged dad.
Exactly. All right, so no old balls then, right?
No old balls.
No old balls. We do, however, have an over-under.
We do.
So let's get it going.
So this is the
Pete's box.
So here's the answer right here. So last week we had the CVS receipt.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We did the over-under on the length. I think was it 44 inches was the length?
43 and 41.4, 43 and a half. Or something.
So, of course, these are all comically long. And CVS receipts have a lot of coupons on them. I don't know if you can see that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's upside down, but it's a $2 off coupon.
$2 off coupon, right? Yeah.
So it occupies about yay much space.
Right. Yep.
And, of course, this is a 44-inch. I don't want to give away too much. This is folded in half, by the way, so that you won't be able to. So the over-under is how many coupons are on this receipt. So, and they're all the same size as the one I just showed you. Mm-hmm. They all occupy. So 44 inches. Mm-hmm. How many coupons? And the over-under is 9.5.
9.5.
9.5. And here is the stretched out.
And that is the width of the receipt? The actual receipt? Or is
this is the actual length of the receipt, yes.
How about the width?
Oh, the width. Well, the coupon goes across the whole width.
Okay.
Let me hold up one coupon again.
Okay.
So there's one, and so one is this much.
Yep.
But it goes across the whole. So how many of those?
John?
I'm thinking 9.5.
9.5.
I'm going over.
John's going over.
I'll go under just to make it interesting.
All right. Shall we count?
Well,
Sure.
you could just let us know.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We'll do both. So we'll sort of run it by here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Wow.
11 coupons on these.
I didn't realize it went the whole. I thought there'd be some sort of actual receipt part.
Yes, this part up here.
That's it.
This is the actual receipt part, and then
That's
all of this is coupon. And it's, let's see what we got here. Extra bucks, $1 off rewards, $2 off Hallmark cards, $3 off, $15 of baby care wash, $3 off any trial, $5 off of baby care. I don't have babies anymore. $1 off trail mix, $8 off $30 Gillette's men's razor blade refills. That's been a good one.
$8?
$8.
That's pretty good.
Off of $30.
Yeah.
You have to buy $30 to get the $8 off. 50% off L'Oreal Paris Colorista hair color.
I don't know what that is, but okay.
It's a hair dye. So, yeah, crazy.
There you go.
What did I actually buy? Oh, it's a prescription. This is for one item. This entire ridiculous receipt for one item.
And they can make a
become receipt guy for Halloween.
I might have to go there like twice more between now and then.
Do that again. Put that around you again.
I have to get one to cover my nipples, right?
You get some tassels, some Walgreens receipt tassels.
Make a little
ascot, the receipt ascot.
Tuck it under and make a little.
There you go.
Or a bow tie.
Yeah.
What do you
go
make
out to the bar? Go out to the bar and they go, "Hey, baby, you want to have a drink for me? No?
You want $4 off
$2 off cough, cold, and flu. Will you have a drink with me for $2 off? Cough, cold, and flu?
It could be a brooch. It could be a pterodactyl.
So there we go.
Could be a headband.
CVS.
Gotta love it.
You gave us 2 over-unders.
CVS, I'm actually not really trying to be any eco-conscious or digitally focused, huh?
Not so much.
I think that their clientele probably cuts those coupons and exchanges them at the old age home.
Yeah,
I think actually that's probably what they get for year-end bonus. You get 400 feet of. Here's the thing, though.
400 feet worth $13.
Yeah, exactly. Here's the thing, though. They must know it's a thing, right? There's memes about this. We all know it's a thing.
Right.
So, do they? Fuck it, we don't care about the environment.
Do you think Walgreens and CVS are purposely making them longer and longer to try to outdo each other?
I don't know. Like, is maybe
do you guys have Walgreens out there?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Is CVS just like, this is our thing now, and we're gonna? I mean, it is recycled paper. You can see the little recycling symbols there.
Okay, great.
So, like, this is our thing, and we're gonna own it, and we're gonna enjoy it. We're gonna embrace it. Yes, we have long receipts. Get over it. Or do they like? Because
if you take those, because the one side's blank, right?
Yeah.
You can cut them and make little notepads out of them.
You know what? That's true.
You do that. And then when you're done with that, recycle that.
Then you can recycle that.
By the time you're done with that, you can use the $4 off Metamucil.
That's right. I could use some trail mix.
$8 on the Gillette razors. Razors are expensive.
I know. That's the thing. How many razors do you get for $30? That's like 4 or something, right?
$30? I thought it was 2.
Yeah. Depends. I'm
You gotta
using
get-
Harry's these days.
You got to use Harry's. You got to use Harry's.
If you'd like to, Harry's, if you would like to advertise on this podcast, we'd be more than happy to have you.
You know, they probably would. We should
We
actually
have
talk
3
about
guys with beards advertising.
Well, I shave
razors
this
that
every
are
day.
named. Oh, okay, there we go. So
that. I shave every
Harry's,
day too.
not just for your face.
John shaves his
That's
asshole.
their new
I
look.
shave my ass every day. So.
That's why he's got so many mirrors.
That's a
in the
long
bathroom.
blade. I go. Yeah.
He's got those like trucking mirrors.
Oh, like a selfie handle. He's got the little mirror thing.
Exactly. It's got those big "don't hit the wall with your tractor trailer"
And
mirrors.
it's got the rounded one too, so
That's
you get
right.
a concave look.
That's right.
The little bubble-eyed round one.
There's some
Geez, my
strobe
ass is
lights.
thick today.
Some strobe lights and bubble wrap involved. It's all very.
It's
very
a process. It's a process.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a valiant effort.
You gotta love it. Gotta love it.
All
All right. All right. Anything else? What do you got? What do you got? You good?
You know what? One thing I thought you might. I don't know if you guys find this interesting, but Danny Green, NBA player,
Sure.
traded from the 76ers to the Grizzlies. I think he's rehabbing a knee injury or something. Is going to do some reporting for ESPN
Okay.
while he's rehabbing.
While he's rehabbing.
Joining ESPN in a part-time role, giving his analysis and opinion on what's happening in the NBA. Now, I think he already does a podcast, but he's going to be on.
Who doesn't?
Right? Who doesn't? Yeah, that doesn't mean anything. But
We should start one of those.
he's going to be on, like, I think. Okay, here it is. Going to make 15 appearances on ESPN, according to the Memphis Commercial Appeal, which I guess is a newspaper or some sort of maybe an online news source.
It's a compilation of Walgreens receipts.
It could be. I just bring this up because, like, do we expect him to be really like he could say some shit that might piss some guys off, and eventually
They've done this
whatever.
before. They've done this before when it's playoff time and they're not in the playoffs. They've had players. They're probably
Right,
just
but
grooming him. They're probably
but
just
he
grooming him to.
Oh,
'cause
yeah,
he's
no.
nearing the end of his career.
He totally admits this is what he wants to do when he's done with his career and what he's always had an eye to doing. But he might have to play in another month against somebody that he smashed on national TV.
And Danny Green does come from the San Antonio Spurs tree. I don't think he's going to say anything to. I think he'll probably be able to control himself.
I guess so. Yeah.
Fair enough.
By the way, he's got 3 championship rings.
3.
Yeah. Thank you, Kawhi. Thank you, Tim Duncan.
Yeah, exactly.
We're all 3 with the Spurs.
I assume so. It says he played in 4 finals.
Yeah, well, they lost
I don't
one.
know.
Remember, they lost to LeBron and the Heat.
Mhm.
Yep.
They should have won
So
that.
anyway,
that was the
also
Ray
says-
Allen shot from the corner, right?
Also
Yep.
says that Draymond Green has a similar partnership with Turner Sports. I know you'll be happy about that, Harry.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah,
you love
can't
him.
wait.
Signed a multi-year agreement to make appearances on Inside the NBA.
He just looks like a talking asshole, and I'm not talking about his personality. It just looks like a fucking butt mouth.
I hope Danny Green is smart and doesn't. But I mean, what if something really ridiculous comes up and
Then Draymond Green will punch him.
get in the game and get smacked? Another hard foul on Green.
One thing we did not mention 2 weeks ago is that it's funny how Jordan Poole's contract extension went through very quickly after he got punched by Draymond Green.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a good point.
By the way, Pete, do you did you look at what the answer was yet? Sitting on the yellow paper. Center?
Yeah, I actually counted it out.
Let's see if it actually matches what the actual
I
answer
wrote
is.
down the answer. 11.
There you go.
There we go.
There you go.
One of these days I'll get it right. Well, that one was easy too. When it's like 35, I don't want to count out,
Yeah, there's paper clips in a box. There's 140. Am I okay? 1, 2, 3.
How many times is there less or more than 140?
This is true.
That's true.
All
See,
right,
I would
I'm
I would
leaving.
do that. I would count out the paper clips just for the comedic value.
Of course.
But
the actual.
And I would sign off about it.
Yeah, and Harry would be like, whatever, I don't care if I won or lost. I'm out.
All
All
right.
right, that's it. That's all I got.
You got it. On that note, we'll wrap the show up for today. I want to thank everybody for watching. And for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thanks for listening. Don't forget to visit our website, www.getonwithitpodcast.com. That's getonwithitpodcast.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just search for the Get On With It podcast. And of course, all of our shows are available on YouTube as well on the Logger Room channel. Remember, we go live with a video podcast on both Facebook and YouTube every Wednesday night around 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. For those of you who just want to listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music Podcasts, and iHeartRadio as well. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more of those feeds and you'll never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend. And we will talk to you next week, folks. Take care. Cheers.
Bye, everybody.